Houston leading by 1, and our guest celebrity cameraman, Donald Trump. Don, welcome to the telecast.
How you doing, folks?
Fine, thank you. You know, we must be paying our cameraman a pretty penny.
You're paying a lot of money. It's a great job.
Thanks for being with us, Don.
Thank you. Great game. Have a good time.
Hakeem Olajuwon, 33 points, 13.
Jefferson Memorial here in Washington, and speaking of presidents, we have one in attendance, and amazingly enough, President Clinton is the first president to watch a Bullets game since Jimmy Carter. And Hubie, as we learned before the game, and Abe Poland on the right, talking to the president right now. Okay, well, we're in Landover, Maryland, at US Air Arena, where the president seeing the Bullets play tonight. First president since Jimmy Carter to come to see the Washington Bullets in action. One of the things that the Bulls coaching staff wants to do from here on in, as you see the president coming back for the second half, is that they want to get sharp. And now let's check in with Dick Versace.
Well, I was talking to Tom Smithberg, who was in the locker room with the Bulls when the president walked in. I said, what do you have to say? He said, well, he charmed all of us, and he was telling us that he's been trying to get to see the Bulls play for over a month now. He's a happy camper tonight. Back to you guys.
Well, you know, the First Lady, Hillary Clinton, is a native Chicagoan, and she sat with Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago Bulls, last Tuesday at the Victory at Denver United Center. So it's only fair that the president would go see the Bulls in the very next game. Great outlet from Rodman to Kukoc. Here is Michael. Oh, yes! And that's what the fans came to see. And before the game, you know, coaches don't say anything to get Jordan upset. We asked Jordan in the locker room before the game, what's going to get you going tonight? He said, the president is here. And he's shown the president on this play. He did not want to disappoint the president tonight. You know that. And I don't think he has, as President Clinton watching Michael Jordan in action and putting on a late show tonight.
That's why he stayed for the second half. Come on.
Bjerasan hitting the free throw. Murray nullifies the potential foul on Jordan.
There's no doubt that Michael was hit on the way up on the shot, but the call.
And Michael Jordan has scored the last 15 points for the Chicago Bulls, who lead 101-94. You know, I don't know whether we overheard the president saying, when is Michael Jordan going to do what I came out to see? And you know what? You didn't disappoint him, did you?
Well, I didn't really shoot the ball particularly well.
You had the First Lady watching against Denver on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and now you had the president tonight. Tell me what that feeling was all about. I said two of the most famous men in America are in the same building.
Hey, it's a privilege to get the chance to meet him. I mean, you know, he's the president of our United States, and you know, he's a basketball fan, he's a sports fan, and you know, quite naturally, he's an Arkansas fan. So Scotty seems to be playing well with those two around. I think we need to get a plane ticket and make sure they play. Come to where we play every night.
It's a joy.
Thank you very much.
Stay healthy, Michael.
All right. Hubie Brown and Dick Versace. This is Dick Stockton saying so long from Washington, D.C.
Texas governor and GOP presidential frontrunner George W. Bush at the game. He can be a Spurs fan tonight and explain to any of his constituents in Houston or Dallas, hey, the Rockets and Mavericks didn't make it this far. Whether this costs him votes when it goes national in New York is another question.
President Obama at the game. He is a Bulls fan. He had him over at the White House for a pep talk and a visit on Thursday. Shows up a little late to the game on Friday. They actually held the tip time so he could get there, and he didn't sit up in a box somewhere. He sat right down with the rest of the fans. He sat with some of his buddies from Chicago. Good front row seats, shaking hands with the fans. And Obama's the first president at a Wizards game since Bill Clinton in January of 2000. He wasn't there to root for the Wizards, but they seem to be inspired by him being there.
I know, but he's from Chicago and he lives in Washington, so now the Wizards should be his team.
Kirk Heinrich, the buzzer-beating 3. President Obama said, all right, here we go. But Antoine Jameson was one of 8 Wizards in double figures, had 27 points and 11 boards. And President Obama has seen enough. I'm out of here. Wizards cruise 113-90.
Terrence Thomas, number 24, returns for Chicago. And up here at halftime, number 10, brought to you by Volkswagen.
Please give a warm, guarded welcome to President Bill Clinton, 42nd President of the United States.
The world is rallying to Haiti, and they are rallying. The government has been reconstituted out by the airport with the United Nations and the United States, and every American here should be very proud of your country. The military and the civilian people have done a great job down there helping to save lives.
Earlier today too for the fun. Yeah, thanks. I'm grateful. Hope it goes well.
And there's one special fan here tonight at the Barclays Center, along with Chris Broussard.
Yes, Mike, I'm here with former President Bill Clinton. What brings you to the Barclays Center?
I love basketball, and a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to come tonight, and Hillary gave me permission to come, so I'm here.
Well, Kevin Durant, of course, is putting on the show. What do you think about his performance?
He's unbelievable. You know, he's even better in person than on television. You know, you just can't imagine the speed of his release. And his basketball intelligence keeps showing up in little ways, you know, everywhere. He's just an amazing player. And, you know, the rest of the team's played great tonight. Ibaka's had an unbelievable game. I think he made his first 6 or 7 shots. And they're just a great team. They're going to be hard for anybody to beat.
I can tell you know the game, but I don't think you played basketball at Arkansas. But your jersey's going to be retired in February. Tell us about that.
Well, they're celebrating the 20th anniversary of Arkansas winning the national championship. And I was president. And so they said that I was their 6th man, and they wanted to put a number 42 jersey because I was the 42nd president, which I thought was really nice.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And let's see if Kevin Durant gets 30.
Yeah, I think he ought to get 30. And look, I like this Brooklyn team. And when Brook Lopez got hurt, it hurt him. And they're, you know, getting people like Duran back into the lineup, getting used to it. But this is a good game for them because they'll be learning. You know, tonight, the only person Oklahoma City really had to defend was Joe Johnson. They were double teaming him. He couldn't get open, and they didn't have answers. But this is really good for them. They won 10 of their last 12 games, and they'll learn from this, and they'll go. So I like this team, and I think they'll do fine.
Well, you're giving us great analysis. I don't think we need Jeff and Mike for the rest of the night. But who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. You know, the last 4 times that the best offense met the best defense, the defense has it 3-1. But, you know, this is probably Peyton's last chance to win a Super Bowl. Wes Welker really wants to win the Super Bowl. They've got a lot of other great players. And Seattle's got a really smart quarterback and a breathtaking defense and a great coach who's made it fun to play there. So I think it'll be a good game. I'll be surprised if it's not quite close.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Well, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. And back to you, Jeff and Mike.
All right, Chris, listen, you want to take a couple of weeks off. I've got
Talk about basketball, but this guy insisted on coming over, so I had to let him talk for a couple minutes. Hi, Mr. President.
How are you? Great to see you, David.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. You are a big Bulls fan.
I'm a big Bulls fan.
A big summer of change with this team now, with the new offense.
But I think it's very promising. I think you got a new coach. He's opening up the offense a little bit. The question is going to be whether they can hang on to the defense with the new offense.
You like the dribble drive? You like the misdirections?
Well, look, if you got Butler, you got Rose, you want to make sure that they can get into the paint, do what they do creatively, and there's going to be a little less clogged up. And, you know, I'm feeling optimistic. I like how Derek's playing right now, and Butler's been a terrific young player.
All right, now you handicap the NCAA tournament every year. I need a handicap on this NBA season. What are we going to see in next June?
Well, these are two of the top teams in the East. I think in the West, it's a free-for-all. Clippers, Golden State, Spurs, Oklahoma, Houston. That's a tough lineup. So I wouldn't want to be battling it out over. I'm glad my Bulls are over in the East.
Mr. President, I know you wanted to talk about the initiative, My Brother's Keeper, and the things that the NBA are doing.
Well, I just want to thank the NBA because they have been terrific at supporting My Brother's Keeper. It's a program to make sure that all of us are supporting disadvantaged youth and particularly disadvantaged boys. And the NBA stepped up. Every team in the league is sponsoring mentorship programs, and wonderful young men like Chris Paul and LeBron and Steph Curry and others have already participated and given their time to some of these initiatives. And the First Lady was with LeBron in Akron just a couple of days ago, talking about the 1,000 scholarships he's given out for kids to go to college. That kind of character that we're seeing in the NBA is really making a difference. I just want to let them know how much I appreciate it.
Mr. President, thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of the game.
It's great. Thank you so much.
All right.
And right now, Artelli Hughes is standing by with the former President of the United States of America.
That's right, Gus. I am pleased to be with the 42nd President of the United States, Mr. Bill Clinton. And I hear that you are a Nets fan. Does that have anything to do with Joe Johnson being an Arkansas guy?
Not a thing. Of course it does. But, you know, I was when the Bucks coach. Jason was there.
Okay.
And Brooke Lopez went to Africa with me.
Okay.
For the NBA once. So we had a great trip to Africa. He came over and said hi. And I'm glad to see him healthy. You know, both these teams, I think, are markedly better than they were last year.
I know you're a big basketball fan. What did you think of that first half with both teams looking for their first win of the season?
Lots of offense, and they're still, I think they're letting each other run up and down the field because they're trying to figure out who's going to do it, what their best combinations are, how they match up. It's early, but just looking at them, I'd say they both got a chance to be better than they were last year.
And finally, I understand you're a very close friend with one of the Bucks' principal owners, Mark Lazary.
Very good.
You've been to Milwaukee to practice. Is he converting you to a Bucks fan?
Yeah, I'm for whatever he's for. We're very close friends. We just went to Israel together to celebrate or observe the 20th anniversary of Prime Minister Rabin's death, and he's a wonderful man. The Bucks are lucky to have him as an owner. He'll be a good owner. And his son, Alex, is there with him, you know.
Well, we appreciate your time. There's always time for you to become a Bucks fan. After all, one of the greatest Arkansas Razorbacks, Sidney Moncrief.
My friend. Of all the basketball players we ever produced there, and a lot of them were friends of mine, he was my best friend. He once did a radio ad for me when I was a governor in the neighborhood where he grew up. I got almost 600 votes to 2 for my opponent, all because of Sidney. So I've always kind of pulled for the Bucks.
Well, thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, that's President Clinton. Coming up at the half, we'll send it back to our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios, where Jeff and Tony will have a breakdown of the first half. It's the Bucks 59 and the Nets 48 at the half.
Here in Brooklyn, joined by a very special guest, former President Bill Clinton. And President Clinton, I know you're a fan of both of these teams, but you have some connections from Arkansas with Joe Johnson. What's your just passion for this Nets team and what you've enjoyed in watching out of them?
Well, even though they haven't won yet this year, they're better than they were last year. You can tell they're playing together better. Brooke Lopez is healthy. I like him very much. He went to Africa with me on behalf of the NBA, along with Don Staley for the WNBA. And we had the best time, and he came over and said hi tonight during the game. I like them. And I think Joe's got some young help, which is good.
And President Clinton, you've been here at Nets games before to Barclays Center. What are your impressions of Barclays Center and just the changing Brooklyn?
I love it. First of all, it's been great for Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a great place, you know, and it's for people that don't know New York, they don't understand that it's really a whole different city in a wonderful way.
We certainly appreciate your time and appreciate you being here with us, and we hope that you'll come back for many more Nets games.
Oh, I will. I love it here, and I like the team, and I think Lionel's going to have a good career here, and I'm just looking forward to it. We got to be patient, build up. It'll get there.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.